Can one of y'all do a slow zoom on the fly that's on Connor's knee?
It's just chilling there. It's just
That's
chilling
his pet.
Yeah.
Mike Pence fly head. Remember
I
that
was gonna
shit?
say, yeah.
Remember that shit at that debate?
Yeah.
The movie plays as both a comedy and a drama, and it's not winking. The fact that it is fully sincere is what makes it work. How did you come to that tone? Like, how did you come to conceive of the film in that way?
Well, it's kind of a performance instinct. The whole idea for the whole thing came from a desire, maybe a very vain desire, to play an ingenue. And for those who don't know, an ingenue is a stock character in theater and film and TV who is like very naive and innocent and open-hearted, and I think I realized that if it had been a sketch that was 5 minutes long or 12 minutes long, it's possible that the audience would always be let off the hook, or people might not be as perceptive about the kind of sincerity underneath it all. But I was like, if I committed to playing an ingenue for a full 90 minutes, the balance of comedy and drama would be more noticeable. I mean, I think to me, everything I love, all my influences have, I think, like a deep sincerity or like a brutality or a pain or pathos underneath them. And I think a lot of the stuff that I've made with Kate, like, we always are aware of like the kind of humanity and the pain and the sadness underneath the characters, but a lot of people don't pick up on it, which is I'm always a little defensive about. And so I was like, no, I really think if we just go hard for longer, like a full feature, it'll be undeniable, and people will finally see it, see that we care about our characters,
Because Kate, you and John have collaborated together on a lot of projects. On this one,
I'll take this.
where he's writer and director and your co-star, did that change the dynamic? Like, what was different between the two of you in working on this?
It was quite seamless because John, even though maybe formally hasn't been in a director position in the past, he is a natural director, and so I've always leaned on him. Or the way we work is very collaborative, and he acts from a place of direction. Yeah. And so it felt very familiar. He isn't
gay.
Yeah, he's not gay. So, by the way, the other time she breaks that. He's been doing it for clout, and it's worked. But
Buttigieg is like that too.
it felt like what it's always felt like working with John, except John had so much to manage, but he did it so seamlessly and without anxiety, so it felt very familiar.
There was anxiety.
But he hit it.
Yeah.
Because was the tone that John was going for, was that difficult to convey to the rest of you? Like, did you all feel like you understood what he was going for?
It was really immediately there in the script. It was so clear what the tone was, and I think we all have a similar sensibility, so it was like, it felt very easy to achieve it. And he also wrote characters for each of us that he knew we could execute. So it was like, it felt very easy and fun.
Thanks, Claudia.
Thanks, John.
Connor, I think I've mangled the line, but you have a line in the film that I've been trying to tell all my colleagues about I think it's let's make some content. And can you talk a little bit?
We've got content to make.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about your character and his, how it is that you sort of like hooked into the tone of the rest of the story?
Very easy for me to play sexual predator, running mostly a digital platform. I don't know. Again, it was like something. It was like the script was like so tight and perfect, and John is like. I think that's kind of maybe something that needs to be talked about more. Is how incredible the script was, and how incredible he is as a writer, and like how. Also, just like reading it, I was like, I know exactly what this is, and like just having the benefit of years of knowing him, and also being a fan of his work, and being like, oh, I know exactly how you're gonna do this, and also like, watching the movie last night too, there's like so much of it is so delicate, and like you're playing with a lot of stuff that's like very intricate, and it's done so well as like an expert. And I think it just goes back to the writing, just like expert script. It's incredible, and I think it's also a person who is writing for a character that they're creating and that they're also directing. It like all makes sense why you're doing all that stuff together. It's like truly not many people can do that.
That's very nice. Thank you, Connor.
Because Eric, you have some of the most sort of tender and delicate scenes in the movie with John as Maddie. What was it like working with him as Maddie and then him being John as director? Like, was there a moment where he snapped out of it, or?
You know, usually he was full Maddie the whole time, but sometimes you would catch him like in the makeup chair, which was in John's like amazing giant TV room in his house that we filmed it in, and I'd walk past it and he'd have the Maddie costume on, but his hair, you know, he'd have his shaved head, and it felt like I wanted to look away because I didn't want to see him like half in, half out. You know what I mean? Like I either wanted him to be full Maddie or full John. But it was easy. It was like not easy, but you know, we just leaned into that. There was no breaking really when we were doing it. It was just kind of like felt like we were in acting class and taking it seriously, and it was sweet. I found it really easy to act with John.
Vanessa, I was so moved at the premiere last night. You said how really everybody in the cast was there because of an affection for John and just to support John. Can you talk a bit more about that? Like what it was that sort of drew you to the project?
I mean, John is so brilliant, and I just would jump at the opportunity to do anything, you know, with him. And look, I say no to a lot of things, and that was supposed to be a bit because I'm not working right now, but I like would do anything. You know, I was so flattered to be a part of this because he's just so brilliant. All of these people are so brilliant, and I think, you know, being asked to be a part of something that John has written, is directing, is starring in, is like, it's just so exciting because John's so wonderful at all of those things. And it was really exciting to be on set with him and see him, like, as soon as they would say cut, like, see him kind of like direct, like just to watch him direct and be doing so many jobs at once. His level of focus was really like, it was really unbelievable. And so, yeah, it was just, I think we all just showed up. Like, I think we would have all done it for free. I don't mean to speak for you guys, and I don't know like what your financial.
We did it for free.
Yeah. I think it just to be part of it is so incredible. Yeah.
Also, I want to note one thing, which John is so precise about words and language, which is really refreshing. He everything was exactly to script. I mean, of course, there are little moments of improvisation naturally, but he's so specific where even in a line, if I were to switch the order of words, he'd be like, can you say it this way? Which I love because it's like so much care and the movie moves so seamlessly.
And all of us, I think, are very accustomed to the opposite, where we go on sets and people expect us to improvise, which like I can't do anymore. Like I used to be like, okay, you know, but then after a certain point you're kind of like,
You write it.
you write it, bitch. Like pay me to write it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so rude. And like, and it just feels sloppy. It's like, what's the vision? What's your movie? Like, tell me. I want to. People like to plug into a vision. You know, they like to feel like a useful part of something bigger, rather than like, here I come to dazzle everyone on set with my like genius improv. So, and also like.
Seems like a dig at me.
It's absolutely not. I'm talking about myself. But like I, to what Kate's saying, like the rhythm stuff, like I really wanted the script to sound like a Joe Esterhaus script, the Showgirls writer, Basic Instinct writer, and Sliver. But I wanted it to have that kind of crude, like, where like each sentence is like 3 words, you know, and really just direct and like, but yeah.
But then the movie also deals with this very real and serious subject of bulimia, but it never condescends to that. It never is making fun of the condition. Was that a difficult boundary to maintain?
Only in theory, or like only kind of like it's only difficult like in this realm of like how we talk about it and whatever connotations people may be bringing to it. On the set, I knew that, like in writing it, I always trusted myself. I knew I was taking it seriously. I knew that it was a heightened style, but I also knew that I respected the subject matter, and that the only way to achieve the style was through actually taking it fully seriously. So I never felt like, oh, I only had the fear that I think we all have of just like everyone's gonna be mad at me, everyone's gonna be mad at me. But like in my own kind of private sphere, I got right with God, and I felt like I know what I'm doing, and I knew that everyone I cast also would understand the kind of tricky balance and would take it seriously. Yeah.
And can you talk a bit just about your connection with John? Like, what do you think it is, your shared sensibility, that makes the two of you such good collaborators?
I don't know what was in the water our mothers were drinking when they were pregnant with us, but truly I met John and we really already had this shared language and sensibility. It was truly uncanny. So it wasn't anything that we. It just was there. I mean, it was just natural chemistry like you have with any friend or lover. And
wait, can one of y'all do a slow zoom on the fly that's on Connor's knee?
It's just chilling there. It's just
That's
chilling
his pet.
yeah.
Mike Pence fly head.
I was
Remember that
gonna
shit?
say, yeah.
Remember that shit at that debate?
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
But I'm sorry. I feel like I lost your question.
Mike Pence,
Did I
Mike
answer
Pence.
it or
You did,
just
you
okay?
did, you did.
Okay.
And just the last thing, Vanessa, over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of reporting and a lot of attention to like cast changes at the upcoming season of SNL. And I wonder if you have any thoughts on that, and do you have like advice or thoughts for people
Vanessa's
of like
back on the show.
Also, I didn't know that. Someone asked me this. What do you think about the shakeups? I go, aren't they always shaking it
Well,
up?
that's what I was going
I
to say,
didn't
is
know.
that I think people forget that it happens all the time. That's kind of the nature of the show. And I really, what I would say to the new people is just that, like, have a great time. And what I would say I actually meant to say what I would say to the not new people is like it's so hard when new people come in, because you're like, wait, this is our place, like what are you guys doing here, you know? And I would just say, like, the people, Fred, Bill, the people that like welcomed me in when I was new, it still means so much to me. So I would say to the people who aren't new, just be nice to the new people.